keep hearing me physically. And yeah, we are on it.
Please. Thanks for coming through, brother.
No worries, brother. Thank God.
Yes, sir.
So the African Wahala.
First of all, Buhari is the reason why Nigeria became the third most terrorized country in the world between 2016 and 2022. Now, I think Nigeria might be number 4 or number 5. According to the count, this institute called Global Terrorism Index, they count the victims of terrorism all over the world, and they collate that data and they post it on their website. And Nigeria became number 3 behind Iraq and Syria at some point. That's how bad it was under Buhari.
You get?
And it's still very bad till this day. It's still very, very bad. Don't get it wrong. Don't think the terrorism has improved. No, it hasn't improved. It's still as bad as it was.
Mm-hmm.
But Buhari is the reason why Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world.
Yes.
After India. India used to be the poverty capital of the world by numbers. They would count the number of people living in multi-dimensional poverty. And in the entire world, India with a population of 1.3, 1.4 billion people was always number 1. Nigeria overtook India in 2017.
That's right.
It became Nigeria, India, Congo, number 3. But Buhari is the reason why, like Shore said in that video, the social cohesion of Nigeria completely destroyed. Completely. We always had that beef. People always beefed one another along ethnic lines. We don't trust you.
Banter stuff and all that, but they were never fully from the 8th place.
Yes.
Until
it never
he
got
actually came to show all of us that, man, you should be hateful. You should mean it too.
By 2019, Buhari told all of us that there is nothing like one Nigeria. He made it clear. For me personally, when Buhari told me that there was no more one Nigeria was January 2021. When I saw what happened in Okeogun. Not Okeogun, in Oja Odon, in Ogun State. When I saw people run away to Benin Republic, a town called Kobe, and they couldn't go back to their communities. This is in Ogun State. That was when I knew for a fact that, forget it. This country is done. Forget about it. Even SARS did not completely break me. It was that Okeogun incident that was a turning point for me.
3 women,
Buhari
three pregnant women.
12.
They went to forced labor that night that you are talking about. Forced labor. 3
in the bush.
They had to give birth in the bush.
The women
running away from terrorists in Ogun State.
While they were running away in the bush to safety, they gave birth in the bush. And speaking about running away from terrorists, do you know that Buhari's nepotism was so bad that during that 2019 elections, the victims of Boko Haram, the victims of Fulani terrorism, the victims of all this northern terrorism, back then that was the beginning of ISWAP. There was no Lakorawa, there was no Bamuda back then, but there was ISWAP. They have victims while running away from the attackers. If you brought in a ballot paper to them while running away in the bush, many of them would still vote for APC because they were completely brainwashed. Yes. Buhari took 12 medical trips, 13 medical trips to London. There was a time the guy went there for like 3 weeks. How can the president of a country go to another country 13 times for medical checkups? Is that someone you should take seriously? So for 8 years that you were the president, you couldn't build one single hospital that is good enough to take care of you. It shows it was an absolute failure. If the guy was alive, he should be in prison for the rest of his life. And for those people that are trying to hype him, Michael, let me just wrap up with just 30 more seconds.
Thank you.
For the people that are trying to hype him up, the same way you guys have hyped up guys like Muritala Mohammed, you made all those criminals the elder statesmen, you put their names on buildings, on edifices. It's not going to work with Buhari. You can try, but it's not going to work.
No.
And even all those other guys that you've hyped up, they will slowly be exposed and their names will be brought down. Thank you so much, Mary.
God bless you, my man. You have a very, very wonderful morning over there, Baba. You have a good one, eh?
Yes, sir.
So I have another caller, but my caller, please hang in there for a second, just before we continue. So the horror called Buhari, right, would never be whitewashed. A man whose ego was bruised. He felt insulted and he shut down Twitter in Nigeria for over a year until election was coming. Then he released the Twitter and then he came back onto that Twitter to come and campaign for second term.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, a man with a fragile ego like that. It's a charm.
Hello, Michael. Good
I managed to drag you
afternoon.
there this morning on a Monday morning. Charm.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know what I was looking for on my phone, and I now thought, oh, Michael is doing brunch time. Hey, Michael is doing brunch time, and I was thought to myself, oh, let me join the brunch time because I don't think I've joined in or listened in a while to the brunch time. Okay, and it was to talk about this murderous entity that has gone.
You get, here we are, because people like us would never let or allow, all these Ronukus and their gangs or the Buhari idiots to now try to whitewash a murderer, right? A genocidist. Like Buhari.
I feel like,
not going to happen.
of course, and I'm very grateful for this platform and the fact that it's called a diary means that from time to time people can go back and really see the hearts and minds of real West Africans, because I refuse to call that place Nigeria. I hate that name. the people within that geographical.
All you have to do is just pick your keyword, search key dates, go on to my Eagles Diary Political and put the date in and say December 13th, 2021. Buhari, Tinubu, APC, PDP. Keywords. For that December, you are likely going to get at least 15 to 20 topics about these guys.
About Buhari. Okay, so I was thinking to myself that the Nigerian politicians they seem to be the only politicians on this earth that still like they're going to come back to collect the money, right? They still as if after they die they will come back and collect that money, right? But now we're seeing Buhari, because I know that whoever it is that died now is not Buhari, or even if it is Buhari,
there's nothing you can tell them, nothing, except if you have to present the DNA for real. You must be one of them.
No, listen. Even if you're not sure whether or not this man passed away, the trajectory and the way Nigeria was, right, even after the time that it was alleged that he had died, right, will tell you that the country was not in control, that was not didn't have a leadership, just by the way things were going. And just like the previous caller, President Adewale was saying, listen, the presidency of Buhari is the single one that we can hold on to, that we can say has put Nigeria in its position today.
Yes.
It is Buhari's presidency that allowed it is his useless ambition, the ambition that somebody like him should never have had in the first place, because he has nothing to offer. He has nothing to offer to himself, not to talk of to what they call it, the rest of that West African country, right? It is that his evil ambition that opened the door for the likes of Tinubu to come and further destroy this country. Because if that man did not have that ambition, that this Tinubu helped to put him in that position, we will not have, I hope that we will not have had a Tinubu presidency that has now put this country in the trajectory of, like President Adewale said, the poorest. Because can you even compare? We say we're about 200 or maybe approaching 300
about 220 million.
On Nigerians. Can you compare that to 1.something billion Indians? And then we have surpassed them as the poorest, one of the poorest countries.
Poverty capital of the world.
Does that make any kind of sense? They are like 5 times our size. We have no business being in the same league with them. If you understand, just when you think about it mathematically, they are 5 times our number, and yet we are more, we are poorer than they are. Doesn't make any kind of sense. You know, it is his evil ambition. He gave to Nigeria what he gave to himself: illiteracy. The man was a stark illiterate. And now you have majority of Nigerians out of school.
They handed the fastest growing economy in Africa to a stark illiterate, right?
To a stark illiterate. And he gave us what he got.
And he gave us what years, destroyed lives.
Destroyed lives.
We are supposed to fear God and watch what we say, because he's dead.
Excuse me. Wow. At which point did us fearing God mean we should start lying to ourselves? Please? At what point, with our worship of God, include lying to ourselves? So we should not tell ourselves the truth that this man is part of the architect of the demise of that country. But you know, I always say that, you know, all of these things are the gifts that keep on giving. In as much as he came and he told us what we've already known, you know, and thankfully because of platforms like yours, that Nigeria is not one country, has never been one country, and the leaders that kept on leading it did not do anything to even try to see if they can integrate these people to integrate this nation. Because if they had even attempted to integrate this nation, we would not be where we are. You and I certainly will not be in other people's countries.
It won't be this war, so we won't be all over the place. So Japan won't be so lucrative, but they didn't see it that way. They still blame us.
And another thing, I don't know, because we know that this is, whoever this is, even if they bring out the DNA today and say that this is the DNA of the real Buhari or whatever.
Right.
Listen, the production that had to go in place, and this thing did not happen in isolation. This is not the architect of this was not put together by Nigerian politicians or even the northern politicians themselves. They had collaboration with the establishment, and we know who the establishment is, because they had to have all collectively, because at the time when he died, there was nothing in the media anywhere to even support what has been alleged that this man had died. Just maybe like in the papers or somewhere they said, the president of Nigeria has died, and we did not see anything. So it was very easy to come out and say that no, they're just making up stories. The man was sick, he's well now, he's still there and everything. Do you know the kind of strings or the kind of people that have to be behind all of that? Because trust me, this was not done by the might of only northern governors. It was done with the establishment as well.
With the help of
because they are the ones that have the tools. They are the ones that have all the instruments in order to keep something like a whole president dying quiet to the point that nobody in the world talked about it. Even when, because I think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that even Queen Victoria or Queen Elizabeth at the time had put out the condolence message, but she had to withdraw it. Do you know what it takes for that to happen? That the Queen had to withdraw.
Highest level of intelligence and psyops. But there are people who are saying that it seems.
When you now think about that, it has to make you really think. And I keep saying that the battle in front of us is not just the Nigerian politicians. I think the Nigerian politician is just the first leg, the first hurdle that we as the people have to cross. Because the other hurdle is the people that are interested in keeping the country the way it is, interested in ensuring that Nigerians are illiterate, are powerless, you understand, in order for them to achieve their own goals.
Taking advantage.
Exactly, to continue to take advantage of the resources. Listen, Maegu, I have nothing good to say about Buhari, and nobody can come and tell me that, we shouldn't testify to the truth that the man has been.
I don't even want to hear that one. And that's the reason why I am wetting the ground now. That's what I'm doing right now, because this evening, Omar Loud, you understand that charm? When I say Omar Loud, it's going to be like, because some of the people who have always been following Maegu and all of that, I have warned severally that I am not somebody who is a friend with people who want to be politically correct, okay? And I'm not doing this because I probably want anybody's validation. I want to look back if I'm alive, I want to look back in another 20, 30 years. And I will say, well, I think, man, I tried, I did my best to.
Listen, Mayegun, you don't even have to look back to 10, 20 years. We can tell you that you tried, and we are very grateful. I personally am very grateful.
Do you get that? So nobody
and
should let
I'm very
anybody
grateful
gaslight
for.
them on how to react. You can't beat a child,
No,
and at the
please,
same time,
I want to encourage anyone who has anything to say, please come out and say. Let us have enough people coming to say what they know about Buhari. Buhari was a criminal. Buhari is part of the reason why we are where we are today.
Yes.
Why we feel hopeless. Why we have to be able to contend with.
Right
Buhari is one of those people.
Charm, we have every right to be angry. Here is the why. Here is why. Number one,
exactly.
He was the one who came to come and show to us that we are not one Nigeria. There are many Nigerias.
Exactly.
And he did that so religiously. He had no shame about it. That he was almost forcing us to part with our lands. He divided Nigeria, impoverished Nigeria, right? And all of that for what? For what exactly? Look how many people that have been killed who shouldn't even be dead by now. For
that
what?
Is a good question. For what?
All of that for what?
For what? To say, is it to further the ambitions of a dead person that had evil machinations? That you couldn't even tell what was good and what was bad as a so-called leader. My problem is not even with Buhari as a whole. It's with the people who knew who Buhari was. There were people who were out there saying, "Do not vote this man into power. This man has no good intentions for this country." But you have, like you said, Buhari idiots, all the what they call them, all the Buhari. I don't even know how you say it again. All those Buhari psychopaths up and down the road telling you that Buhari was going to make a difference. Look at us today. Look at us today. Now we're talking about a coalition that is dead in the water. If they carry on with what they're doing, if it's Atiku that they're planning to present, and bear in mind, I think Atiku is 80 years old now. And they claim that this guy
Atiku will be 80 by 2027. So if he becomes the president, he will be 84 by 2031. He will do second term, he will be 88. Like, what kind of life is this concept? Which kind of life is this?
I'm just going to end by saying, listen, right? We know where our problems are, right? The first hurdle is getting rid of all these so-called politicians that we have here. 2027 is dead in the water if we don't get rid of them today, as you and me are talking right now. If we don't start to formulate a plan to get those people out of power, 2027 is dead in the water. It is going to still belong to that criminal, and we'll still have Buhari to thank for the likes of Tinubu being in power.
Thank you very much, Charles.
Thank you, Maiko.
Let's take another one, and I look forward to possibly having you on this evening as well, if you're up. So let's take this. Hello.
Mayegu Baba.
Hey, Mazi. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Valentino from Sugarland.
It is Valentino from Sugarland, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Val, Baba. You don't hear?
Mayegu Baba. I don't work, but if once I put on my earphones, man, my head will go crazy. I swear.
Yeah, we do.
Man, you be.
Thank you.
If I be woman, I go marry you for free.
Really? See?
So yes, I go marry you for free. My good name. I mean, it's very, very explosive as usual. But let me take a little bit twist. Most people will not like what I want to say. Right, but you know, one thing about my I say, can't talk your mind, make I talk my mind. You understand me? If you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, go hang transformer. Period.
No be anybody stop that time. Go on, Baba.
Mayegum, I don't like Showore. I would have used the word hate, but I don't like Showore. Hate is kind of too big, right? But Showore said it all today. You see what he said today, right? For me, it's like, what he said today, for me, it is the best of Showore, but I don't like him, and I will never like him, right?
I don't like disagree him. With him, right? We can disagree, disagree without being disagreeable. Sure, you get on top this one, though. I want to hear go on, Baba.
Yes. I will there a little bit brief because no be Showore coming. I don't like him because of what he did to Jonathan. Showore lied or should we say the truth about Jonathan. Whatever you have to put it, I put it lie. Can call it truth. And that thing metamorphosis in giving us Buhari. That is why we are where we are today. Nobody can say otherwise. And I also don't like Jonathan. If Jonathan was not stupid, he would have removed Jaga and damn the consequences. This is why I think Chief Nubu is the man for this job. Even though Chief Nubu is another evil person, understand me. Only Chief Nubu go fit give these northerners what they want. No other person can do it. You understand me?
So
but
when you say if you give them what they want, now two different things, or want or deserve.
No, what I mean?
Because what they want right now is to chase them away.
No, you are right. Okay,
no.